Wow, talk about a crazy 6 hour chart, everybody. I just recorded an entire video breaking down the targets, the technical analysis of what's happening with Bitcoin right now and Cardano. And I kind of went a little too deep into my opinion of what I think is going to happen next. So I'm redoing this video. Please hit the comments below. Let me know what you think is going to happen next. I want to discuss why the next 24 and 48 hours are so important for what happens with this chart. This is what it looks like on the Bitcoin daily chart. And there really are two important reasons for Bitcoin and crypto right now that are playing into everything that we're seeing with this sideways consolidation and the indecisiveness of it. Now, I did a video yesterday that a move is here. I think I used the word now. That was probably a poor choice of words, but I think it is now. Like we're there. The move is here. And so I want to kind of dig a little bit deeper into that and what's playing into the charts right now. And same thing for ADA. ADA holders, you might not like what you are going to see on that chart, the daily chart that I bring up. But we're going to talk about the targets and what to prepare for. Now, everything we see here, swing low, swing low, higher low, the consolidation, this trend line, targets hit all over the place for weeks now that we've been watching. And it's all coming to fruition in terms of structure. And what I mean by structure is this rising, broadening wedge. The big move is here. It's getting ready to happen. That is either the explosion through these moving averages to the upside or this very big bearish move to the downside, 19,000 or so, $19,000, $20,000 target to the downside. What's fueling this? What's playing into where we are right now? Let's kind of zoom out for a second. This is the headline from today. S&P and slightly higher, Powell testimony, and upcoming data. This is it. If you're watching crypto, if you're a crypto holder and you're trying to figure out what's going to happen next, this is all that matters. So two pieces of data here. People are worried about the jobs number and the economic data because they're worried about what the Fed will do. Ultimately, all roads lead to the Fed. And so this is what's happening. Jobs data coming out this week. What is that going to look like? I think more notably, and even on the shorter term, I mentioned 24 to 48 hours, investors will look for clues about the Fed's future rate hiking path when Powell testifies before Congress on Tuesday and Wednesday. Powell's testifying tomorrow and Wednesday. It's what is he going to sound like? What are the words that he's going to choose, and how will the markets react? And so here's where Bitcoin is at an indecisive area. It looks very sideways, but the reason is because all of this is happening this week. At the same time, S&P 500 kind of in this uptrend, right? And at the same time, the US dollar currency index also in an uptrend. The question is, and really this is what Bitcoin is waiting for, crypto is waiting for, which one is going to break first and which direction will it be? US dollar currency index falls to the downside, good for risk on assets. If it goes to the upside, bad for risk on assets, right? Very simple. And this data that's coming out, and even just Jerome Powell's speech tomorrow, or it's not speech, but he's testifying tomorrow, Wednesday, it's going to probably likely, and there's no guarantee, but this is just how I see it and what I think, likely going to move markets. And so the move is here. It's just we have to be a little bit patient and wait for the break. But as we wait for the break, these are the things that are playing into it. Now, we've seen most recently inflation data not looking as good as it once was not that long ago. It's been trending down real nice, but this last report that we got wasn't looking too good, right? How is this going to fuel what he says in the next couple of days, Powell? And how is this going to fuel market? Because people are obviously predicting now and expecting now that they will be raising rates for longer, and these things might play into the shorter to midterm charts for risk on assets and S&P and stock and crypto. So the breakout target to downside, $19,000 to $20,000, and we are just hanging by a thread right now. Now, when it comes to this very chart, if we put kind of all that aside for a second, besides that, this is looking a little weak. And there's just a couple of reasons why. If we open up the weekly chart, and this is 6 hour, here's the weekly, we've already established this resistance at this 50-week moving average, very similar to 2015 move, where we kind of came out of the bear market and just rejected it to 50, and we came down for a higher low. It was the end of the bear market, right? So we could get a move like that. It's playing out very similar. If we actually go and we look at, well, quicker moving momentum oscillator, we're coming out of overbought in this downtrend. So from a shorter term perspective, a break to the downside on this weekly is in play, right? And you can just see what is right around that $19,000, $20,000 target. It's a 20-week moving average. It's this massive trend line, right, for Bitcoin to test potentially and trickle down. So that's in play. And then we go back and we look at this daily chart and we open the daily chart. And the other thing is this. It would be one thing if this 50-day moving average right now was actually kind of just trending right below where Bitcoin is at this lower trend line, maybe some confluence down here. Then I could see like a very bullish case for Bitcoin, a bounce off of this area. Now, could it even be bullish with that happening in the face of what's going on this week if it ends up being more of a negative sentiment? Probably not. It really probably doesn't matter where the 50-day moving average is. Now, all of this to say, we do have outside things influencing, right? We have headlines. We have Jerome Powell and the words that he uses influencing charts. But at the end of the day, we have very sound structure. And this is why I do technical analysis. The structure has not changed. All of these things happening right now, this setup is something that is so common on Bitcoin and crypto. And you can find charts like this all over the place because markets are consolidating, waiting for something, right? It's humans and emotion behind the charts. And we will get a trigger that moves Bitcoin in one direction or the other. And it's very likely going to happen soon. To the downside, we know what that looks like. To the upside, I'd just be waiting to see what Bitcoin does if it even makes a move to 23,000, the 50-day moving average, and the 20-day moving average, 23,500. Until Bitcoin does anything with that area, breaks above it, I'm not even really paying too much attention. A move to the upside doesn't mean that much to me to test that area. It's what happens if it breaks above that area. So we're at this trend line. I think we're going to see some volatility coming after this, especially the sideways action that we have, but not sure what direction it's going to be. Not sure it's going to be direction we want it to be, at least if you're a bull like me. So we're going to continue tracking. We know the targets. We know what to anticipate. And on the zoomed out, even if it happens, Bitcoin falls to that area. It's a higher low area in this pivot from bear market to bull market. Now, ADA chart, let's go hang out on the daily chart. So we're actually going to spend the whole time on the daily. We have a very clear target to the downside. And I want to really help visualize what this looks like because what's playing out is very clear. We were already the other day looking at potential left shoulder ahead. We were right around here, I think. And we said, hey, if we get a move to the upside, to these moving averages even, and there's resistance, will ADA kind of come back down and put in a head and shoulders, right? That was a speculation that did not play out. We never got a move to the upside. We actually just broke this trend line. And this is a very clear trend line right there. And it's a trend line really stemming from, what is this? This is a short-term, midterm, double top formation is what that is. Now, it wasn't long ago we had a double bottom right back here. This was ADA right around 24 cents, and it was a reversal. So this was a reversal move, right? And now we're in a potential other reversal move. So we had this momentum to the upside, and now we're just potentially coming back down to reverse, right? It's consolidation on the macro. We talk about the pivot point from bear market to bull market all the time. This is what it's made of. It's things like this. So if there is negative sentiment for the remainder of this week, if something bad happens, target to the downside out of this formation, this double top formation, right around 28 cents. It's so notable because if we look at the swing low to swing high, we have a higher low area, a Fibonacci area of the 618 right around 30, 31 cents, 786 right around 27, 28 cents. So it's a higher low area for ADA to test. Wouldn't be enjoyable, but we have to bring things into perspective. And to do that, from a visualization perspective, we can open up, and let me actually just draw a circle around this so that we can take note of it. So this is the bottom. I'm going to reverse the chart, and you can actually just see it looks pretty much almost identical to the move that we're in right now. So it's a double top formation. This was actually the double bottom, obviously, but this was the reversal. Now, if we flip that and go back to the actual chart, we have a very similar thing playing out. Double top with the break of the trend line in the works right now. So it's everything in perspective. It's push the emotion aside, understand what's going on in the world, understand what's going on in the macroeconomic landscape, and just embrace the fact that these moves happen and there are events and headlines and things that trigger them to happen. Now, we have such crazy confluence of these moving averages. Look at the 20-day, the 200, the 50. They were all right here, kind of making a move to the downside. It looks terrible, but I'm telling you, in my opinion alone, This is just all of this separation that we have in the moving averages in the bear market. And you can zoom out and you see this. Look at this. Look at that separation. They are just converging together now. And they can all come back down a little bit. They can do whatever they want, but they're together now. And we're probably going to see, in my opinion, just they're going to be hanging out, intertwining up and down as we put in this pivot from bear to bull. And I think that's normal. And moves to the downside will be what causes that consolidation of these moving averages as we get ready for the next cycle out of this bear market. So we're tracking it. Sometimes it's painful, but at the same time, it's good. I really think it's good. I think I say often the worst is over. I really do think that for both ADA and Bitcoin. But this is what we're looking at. Going to continue monitoring what happens tomorrow. Probably will do a video earlier tomorrow or whenever things really start popping in terms of headlines and news and statements and quotes coming out. But we'll track it. We know the targets. We know what to anticipate. Everybody, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hope you're doing well out there. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.